Erick from AHA, Americans Helping Americans, and AMP Live. We're here today for some Saturday AMP Live training. And today the topic's going to be the mission is the submission. Probably saying, well, what the hell does that even mean? The mission is the submission. Of course, before that, you have to be able to hunt deals, find deals, do some type of marketing with paid or free or elbow. I like to call it a little bit of elbow marketing, right? We're going to have something very special for you towards the end. We'll drop it here, share the links. You can probably scan the QR code. It's called surfing for deals, like driving for dollars, if you know what that means. If not, I'll explain it to you in a little bit. But it's going to be a free download. Take advantage of it so you can start stacking up your pipeline. You need a pipeline. Without leads or deals, you're dead in the water, okay? So I'm going to be your host today. I'm going to go ahead and put my mug up here so you can see my face and my eyes for some Saturday live training, okay? So it's about 6:27 or so. It's still daylight here in beautiful, crazy California. What else we got throughout the Midwest? It might be 6:37, 8, 9. Might be dark in the Midwest, right? It might be dark in the East Coast. But I'm going to be your host today, Erick from AMP Live, the American Mentee Program, and AHA, Americans Helping Americans. We'll get that out of the way. One American at a time, one family at a time, one property at a time, doing our part to get America back on track together with you and others across the United States of America. That's our cause and mission. So we're coming here today live, usually out in the field. We're either working in the morning, doing a little bit of training, working with mentees, working some deals in our own backyard now and other places throughout the United States of America, from the East Coast to the West Coast and everything in between. And doing some a little bit behind here. I like to do it at 2 p.m., maybe at 4 and 6. So right now we're a little behind schedule, but it's all good because we're gonna rock and roll some Saturday training that's gonna help you in the field. Watch this all the way through. Love, like, and share this with others as we appreciate it. This month we're gonna be bringing on some guests for like funding stuff. Right, I know that there's a trend with the double transactions and transactional funding, transactional funding where you're doing double close and things of that nature in different areas. We're going to talk about subject to existing financing and how you want to find those deals and how you can still work them where there's equity, almost like using what's already in place to rock and roll. Now, a lot of things are happening all over the different places in the United States of America, in Arizona, Texas. They're all coming up with little law, Georgia, with their own little laws and things of that nature. It is what it is, right? They want to push themselves out of the market. They're going to cry later. That's just part of the process, right? There's always stuff that's always going to be rolling. It's like the government and stuff and the things they think about, or even state and county levels. It's like it's never stops. It just keeps going and going like a machine, right? But that's all changing with the current administration now. Things are rocking and rolling. Opportunities are on the table. The horizons are there. But just remember, I had a conversation earlier today. Just remember from the last cycle, there's people that are in the title business, okay? The people in the escrow business. People in the insurance business, right? People in the short sale or just rock and roll, just real estate agents and brokers, right? Now, when it's rocking and rolling, people can get an ego and they're like, man, yeah, forget about customer service and forget those things. And then when the market takes a shit, they're like, oh, shit, I'm working at Walmart. And then you got you're looking for a job and you got 2 or 3 jobs. And then maybe you're trying to look for another title company or another escrow company or another real estate company to work with, depending on who makes it and who doesn't. So just remember the golden rule, right? Treat others as you would like to be treated. And remember that the party goes up and down just like real estate, right? So just, it's happened last cycle, right? When the market took a shit and title companies were closing and escrow companies are closing, the people are calling and said, hey, Erick, man, can you give me a job? Or can you I need some business. Please help me. But yet they're the ones that turned us away the first time. You go, well, hey, you said you couldn't do the deal. You didn't want to do the deal, or you don't have to do it because you got enough business. Remember what happens, right? At the end of the day, shit happens. So, and just be careful who you talk to and who you're doing business with, because you never know, right? But if you have integrity and loyalty and communication, because communication can break down and be repaired, the first two cannot. And if you have them all the time, then you're good to go forever. So timing. So hopefully I hear a rumble. Hopefully I don't get interrupted here. Hopefully it's just like a helicopter or something like that. But not sure. We'll see. Timing, right? It is what it is. But today, Saturday training. So let's get into it. Okay, I'm going to share a couple things with you. What is the mission? The submission. What does that even mean? So once again, I'll be your host for the AMP Live Real Estate Show. I like to come out here on Saturdays and do some training. Sunday for the Sunday sermon. Mindset Money Monday, Tuesday open out in the field, rocking and rolling for sales, and then Wellness Wednesday. And then we got back, again, we go to Thursdays, right? And that's another sales day with sales in-house, out in the field if we can. And then Friday highlights, right? That's what's the pulse of real estate. We're talking about real estate, what's going on for the week, what's going on for the month, what's the future of real estate, what cool things are happening, what crazy stuff is happening in the market as well. And then back to Saturday training. So here we are. So I got my rock and rollness. I'm not suited up today, but this is the suit for today. I don't have my hat on either, but you can see back there. So usually we suit up, boink, boink. We're talking with sellers and out dealing with business and working with mentees. And then Amp Live is right there, boink. That's our brand, Amp Live, the American Mentee Program. Amp Live Media, it's powered by Amp Live Media. And it's all about the American Mentee Program, one-on-one, true one-on-one mentoring. That's what we do, what we've been doing for a while across the United States of America. There's some coaching programs and things that we've been doing, being very creative with mentees that come aboard. So we're still looking for some one-on-one mentors, mentees that come aboard for this quarter, as we got a new quarter going into the second quarter, and then moving into spring, into summer, right? So take advantage of it. If there's any links or there's anything there that you would like to discuss, take advantage of it, right? Because I always say, if we do it for one person, then we have to do it for everybody. So if you get lucky enough to catch us when that's happening and the generosity's there, take advantage of it, right? It'll be almost like, man, I'm an idiot if I don't. Trust me, I wish I had what we're offering and delivering to others across the United States of America. We like our core, so we're not just, hey, you got a pulse, you can come aboard. You got some money, you can come aboard. But there are hard costs that you have to take care of. This is a business. So you're going to show you how to treat it like a business, set it up like a business, rock and roll together, and going to share you those very, very special things that only you, in your mind, once we teach you how to do it, that nobody on this planet can take away from you. That is the biggest takeaway. It's going to create like superhero powers for yourself. As I say, I've heard it before where they're like, hey, people are asking me what I'm doing, and not me personally, it'd be mentee, and what I'm doing, I'm making some money, I'm doing this and that, and they're asking like, hey, what are you doing, man? What kind of stuff are you doing? And then they don't tell them, and they keep it top secret, and they're like, so what are you probably thinking they're selling drugs or something like that, right? Or doing some weird stuff, but that's not the case. I always say, for me, I kept it quiet as well. In the last cycle, people come to the office and looking for paperwork and figuring out how to figure out how I was doing deals, constructing deals, agents, brokers getting pissed off and all the good stuff. Same thing happens. It is what it is when you go into every county or city. But today we're going to talk about the mission is the submission, and what the hell is the mission to the submission, meaning we have this lead gen form. I'm going to pull it up real quick. We'll see if I can share it with you. And we'll do a little housekeeping real quick. So I'm going to pull this up here, share this with you. Let's do our part for America, one American at a time. Americans first, that's my jam. Made in America is what we're all about. One American at a time, one property at a time, one family at a time, doing our part to get America back on track together with you and others across the United States of America. That is our cause and mission, truly from the heart and the gut, simply because that's the epiphany that dropped on my door several years ago. The good, the bad, the ugly, doesn't matter. That's what I've chosen. That's what we've chosen. It's what we do until things change or not, right? So here we go. So make sure you do your part. Go out. I always say, look, biggest challenge. Go out and help your fellow Americans in one capacity or another. It feels awesome. Maybe it's the dopamines or whatever you want to call it, when someone's at a level where they're distressed or depressed or all that good stuff, and then you're the only one that comes to the table and does the right thing for that seller or investor, whoever it is, and you take care of them no matter what. And it's like, man, I wish there was more people like you. Can you imagine if we're all like that? Every single American was based on integrity, loyalty, and communication, based on helping each other, right? And not trying to F each other and, all that crazy stuff, right? And machismo stuff and machismo stuff, right? If there is a thing, which I know there is, because there's some brutal women out there who can kick some arse, right? So let's get back to this real quick. You can register right there. That's for sub 2. I believe there's a little scan or a little QR code. You can scan that QR code right there and touch bases with us. I'm going to put something in the chat, as I always do. A little rock and rollness. Then I got something here that I'm just going to deliver it right now so you can, not to distract you, but I'm going to pull this up here right here. I think you can see it. So the webinar, we got a webinar on Thursday coming up on April 17th, 7 p.m. And there are limited seats. There's going to be some bonuses. Yes, for the attendees, you get our creative investing cheat sheet, a step-by-step guide to help you close your next deal with confidence. And that's just going to be part of the art of the deal, something that we share with others when somebody comes aboard and works with us exclusively as a mentee. I'm going to pull the page up so you can go. We're going to scroll through it. First up, Real Estate Domination Webinar, the ultimate strategy for unstoppable success. It's early. The unstoppable success is you. That's what it comes down to, right? If you have not got the book Think and Grow Rich or read it, and some people go, I read it already. Well, read it again and again and again until you understand it inside and out. That's the problem, kind of like when people will read something, they'll go, okay, I read the book. Didn't work. Or I read the book. So what? I did the audio. So what? Did you get anything from it, right? It's kind of like watching a movie. You can watch the movie, you watch the good parts, and did it matter? Did it touch you? Did it feel you in any way, right? They don't make movies like that anymore, right? But it's the same thing with reading the book, right? If you got a book that's reading you, then you start highlighting, you start writing, you start making it yours. I believe in muscle memory. That means smelling it, touching it, feeling it. Audio works too, right? It's like a downloadable thing. Once it's downloaded into your brain one time, it's there forever. But you do have to have a trigger, something that's going to trigger it to bring it from the subconscious to the conscious mind. And once you get that trigger, you'll get your, no pun intended, you'll get your aha moments. You go, now I understand what that freaking book was telling me. Trust me, I'm a slow learner. It took me a lot of years to figure out what the heck was going on with Think and Grow Rich until I actually got from the Midwest and came back to the West Coast with the job and the gig and the corporate thing, right? And once I got back to the West Coast, the whole freaking book opened up to me. And of course, I started the process when I was in the West Coast, went to the Midwest, came back to the West Coast, and that epiphany popped and go, oh, bam. Because it says in the book, once you understand what this is all about, break open some champagne, right? So that's exactly what I did when we came back to Southern California, cracked open the champagne. I go, now I understand what the hell this book is saying. But I had to go through a lot, right? God had to let me fail, then move forward and open the door, and fail, then move door. You got to keep rocking and rolling, right? That's a warrior for you, right? Warrior, warrioress, or whatever you want to call it. That is you. It's in all of us. It's in our DNA. It's how human beings are designed and made, right? Whatever you believe. I'm a God-fearing man. I'm not a holy roller, but I do believe in God, and I am a man of God at the end of the day. I fear God, and hey, that's what keeps me going, along with books and things of that nature. But check this out. Attention real estate investors. Are you tired of struggling to close deals? Confused about how to invest with little or no money because it is doable and it's possible? Wondering how top investors dominate in the market with others are left behind? That happens a lot. There's a lot of shiny objects, a lot of spinning of the wheels, a lot of agents and brokers saying, oh, you can do this, you can't do this. There are wholesalers that are going, I want to wholesale, but I don't know how to wholesale. Or I want to wholesale first before I buy my first property and fix and flip and buy and hold. Or I want to just go and buy apartment buildings right out of the gate. And then that's all they're doing is hunting for 6 months, hunting for, apartment buildings and all kinds of stuff. And then getting their ass beat upside down all over the place simply because they don't have a process. They don't have a plan of attack. I commend them. I always do. Say, congratulations. I commend you for at least getting started. I commend you for getting in the arena. And yeah, you're probably getting your ass beat a little bit, right? But we're all going to get our ass beat when we get into something that's new. I like to say, like Bruce Lee, right? Or even if you're training, we had another conversation today. It was a good one with the gentleman out here in the Inland Empire. And it's the same thing. It's like, athletes, musicians, warriors. Maybe Bruce Lee is training somebody, right? And unless they have the basics, they all start off with the basics, right? To build that foundation of what you need to do to be successful in one capacity or another. But you have to do it over and over and over, become an expert and get good at it, and then move to those different levels, right? I think the conversation we're having with the gentleman in Inland Empire was talking about like Kobe and Jordan or whatever, right? Basketball analogy. But, one guy on the whole team scores the most points, is the best player of them all out of the whole fucking, team. Why is that? Right? When everybody else is going to do what? They're going to celebrate. They're going to go party. They're going to go to the parties. They're going to do their, celebrate whatever they have going on because they won the game. And, get high and smoke weed and party or whatever. Maybe it's women. Who knows? What are those two guys doing? What is the one guy who's the best on the team doing? While they're going to do that stuff, he's practicing. He's back in the gym. He's back in the practice shooting hoops. Boom, boom, boom. Working on his game to be the ultimate expert in what they do. And that's the only way to get there, right? It's sacrifice. They're sacrificing themselves instead of going, because they go, look, I'm going to get that stuff anyways. but I'll get it later. I'll deal with it later. Or it might be to the point where I don't need that, right? They don't need that. They don't need to party and get all high and maybe celebrate, and they'll do that as it comes, but they're the ones that are going to get the sponsors. They're going to get all the juicy stuff and things that happen. They'll keep their money and become an icon in their arena in their lifetime, right? So it doesn't mean that everybody has to do that, because it's not for everybody to want to be that or aspire to be like that. But I'm just saying, look, work with people, work with us, or if not us, then somebody. I always say, right? I found my mentor by accident, but you have to really dig in. And I always say, you do your best work when your back is up against the wall. So the truth is, real estate has changed, and it has, right? It's now everybody and their mother wants to be a real estate investor. Everybody and their mother has the information. Everybody and their mother tries to do and do real estate with the information that's out there. But a lot of times there's missing pieces to the puzzle that, one, can get caught with your shorts down. 2, you get ripped off or burned. 3, may make some mistakes. 4, you get tired and burned out. And even us as an investor who's experienced, or others investors that are experienced, and you got newbies rolling up into the fire, and they're like, man, do your ARV. You got to do your due diligence, right? But you're probably going, what does this all have to do with the mission is the submission? Because that's part of the jam, right? Part of it is finding deals, which I'm going to share with you, surfing for deals, where it'll explode your phone, email, and text with surfing for deals. And I'm going to share with you the lead gen form, right, on how to get a submission, right? So first one, we'll say, for example, we'll make something up, right? Say there's a house, let's say we're in Southern California. Let's pick a spot, Moreno Valley. Let's say in Moreno Valley, there's a nice 4-bedroom, 3-bath house. And maybe it's in pre-foreclosure, or maybe it needs some repairs, or maybe, hey, they've had the house and someone passed away. It's a probate deal. It doesn't matter. It's a distressed property. It needs about $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 to $100,000 in repairs, right? And maybe the market's at $500,000, $600,000 and some change, right? And to wholesale it, you're going to need at least 50, 60, 65 to 70 cents on the dollar, LTV, loan to value, minus repairs, to be able to lock that up and sell that paper to another investor, maybe somebody like us or anybody else who may want to buy that for fix and flip or buy and hold, right? So that's what we're going to go with. So we'll assume that we found a property in Moreno Valley, and now that we found the property, maybe they have their hand up on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, or maybe it's Zillow of some sort, right? Let's see what's going to happen. I'm going to share that with you on what can happen. But let me finish this up real quick. This is your chance to break free from the cycle of missed deals and start making real money with real estate and master the art of the deal, is what I'm suggesting. It's going to be about 5 days from now. I'm going to do a live Zoom. You can go here and fill out your information. Look, all we want is your first name, last name, email, and telephone number, because that's the norm now. Not asking for any blood or your firstborn or anything. What you're going to learn in exclusive webinar, you can go to the website. It'll be there. It's going to be pulled up. I'm going to put the link in there in the chat, as well as once it comes up on one of these slides, you'll be able to scan the QR code with your phone, or you can do it and take a screenshot. There's a way to do it where you can do it on your phone as well, and we'll go from there. But this is very simple. It's very easy. Just got to register. I'm going to go back here. So now that you can see this here, I'm going to go to the next slide right here. And this is our sponsor, VIPExecs Realty and Lending. Step into excellence, powered by AmpLive Media. And by the bottom line is if you're looking for real estate, want to list your property, maybe you're a buyer, maybe you're a seller, maybe you're an investor looking for inventory, right? We can find you some inventory, or they can find you, VIPExecs. I'll put you in touch with them. There should be a link as well in a QR code where you can get in touch with them in Southern California, or anywhere anywhere in California, to hunt those deals and work with you, and as well as the lending side, right? Whether it's double transactional funding, hard money, traditional, conventional loans, commercial loans, VA, all that good stuff, right? What else we got? FHA loans and things of that nature, as well as listing those properties, whether it's a $400,000 property or a $4 million property. It does not matter. You're going to have 20 plus years back behind that to help you with that, and you're dealing with the whole team to help you. So I want to say thank you to our sponsors, VIPExecs Realty and Lending. Step into excellence. And I'll put that information right down here. I'm going to put that right there, boink, in the chat. So let's get into some training here. Okay, we're about 20 minutes, so it's not going to take that much longer, maybe about 4, 5, 10 minutes. If you want to go longer, we'll go longer, but I'm going to click this here. We're going to go here. So with your marketing, when you're doing some of your marketing, you're trying to find these deals, the mission is the submission. And I'm going to share you the lead gen form that we use exclusively for us, right? If you come aboard and work with us, all this stuff is built out. The links, the marketing, and all that good stuff. You piggyback on AHA in the beginning till we help you build up your brand. But something like this, right? We buy houses, ugly ones too, cash. Sell your house fast, no commissions, no closing costs. Now, this is standard stuff. This was standard last cycle, it's standard this cycle. You're not seeing it as much in this cycle, but it's there. People are marketing in different ways. So you written guarantee within 24 to 48 hours. So we never zero cost, never pay an upfront fee. We don't promise all that. Hey, we're out of the gate, right? It's kind of like playing cards. We're not like, hey, you work with us and we'll pay all closing costs. No. If they got to pay closing costs and we're doing something else for them, paying off credit cards, buying a car, paying off their loans, or reinstating their back payments that they put in their pocket for the last 6 months to a year, come on. No, we're gonna work. We're gonna work it the way we need to, and that's where the mission to the submission comes in, right? That's where you're gonna make your money. That's where the art of the deal lies, as well as the AMP-Live method. That's a method that I've created over the years. Is what I call the AMP-Live method, with high trust selling, along with straight line selling. We put those together. We call it the AMP-Live method, right? Because there's a time and place for hitting them hard with some sales, and there's a time and place to build that trust and build those relationships and build that high trust selling and providing solutions to the seller, investor, or whoever you're working with. In this case, it's going to be about the seller, okay? Sell your house today. We have solutions that we can help. Scan this QR code right there. That's for the creative real estate domination, like I mentioned earlier before. You can scan that. I also put it in the chat. Be there for Thursday. We're going to talk about everything creative real estate investing. I'm going to show you how to get started. I'm going to share a little I usually don't do this. I don't share my personal stuff. If we're on the phone, rocking a call, and you come aboard, awesome. Usually telling my stories and sharing my stories and my passions, and I'm figuring out what your passions are, and you're going to share those passions with me. You're going to share what your goals are, and if we're aligned, we will work together because it is a selection process. If we're not aligned, it's okay. Maybe it's not right now. I never say no unless you're just, it happens, right? There's some people out there, right, where they think they're buying a widget. They think they're almost like buying a car, or they're saying, hey, they're going to tell us how to mentor them and coach them. They're going to treat our staff like shit, treat me like shit because they think they're buying a thing. This is intangible. It is my years of experience and processes that I'm giving to you, and proprietary things that I'm giving to you to help you build your business for your family, your legacy, and your life, period, right? So those things, as far as I'm concerned, are a gift. But we do live in what? A capitalist country. So nothing's free. No such thing as free. And I'll say it again. Somebody has to pay for free. For me, when I got started, a year, 16 months, built out my platform, 4 months to get a deal, and then eventually met Hal, and I piggybacked off of his 40 years of experience. Was it free? No. I had to pay. I had to spend all that time before I even met him, before God even introduced us together, because I needed to have that experience, because I tried to get people to mentor me and coach me, and I'll do this and I'll do that. And they said, no, just go find me a deal. I don't got time for that shit, right? I'm doing business. And then I don't got time to babysit. I don't got time to show you this stuff, right? Even if you try to work with them, sometimes they don't want to have to train somebody and teach somebody to bring them aboard, right? So it's all about bringing value to the table. So I spent all that time, and then I met, one of my mentors, God rest his soul, and things started shifting and changing, right? So when that happens, it's the same thing. Did it cost me time? Yes. Did it cost him time? Not really, but kind of, sort of. What was the leverage or agreement that we had, right? I bring him deals, and I get to go with him. I get to listen to him and what he does. And sell, right? And to pick his brain on the ride home. And then eventually, he paid me. So think of it that way, right? So I brought whatever I built to the table and brought him deals, which meant money. In exchange for that, I got to buy, in a sense, right, his 40 years of experience, because I was working with him exclusively. I got to see how he walked, how he talked, the inflections in his voice, what he did, modulations in his voice, his whole pitch. And then turn it into my pitch, right? And then on the drive home, pick his brain, and then I'd sit in my car, because I'd drive my little car, and then I'd park in Walmart, and I would digest the whole process on how we did these things, and then I would put them together in a process and write it all up, and then put it into my business. Same thing Sam Walton does, or did, I should say, God rest his soul, right? every time he went into someone else's store and they saw that that was good but not working great, or maybe it was working great, he'd grab it and put it into his store, right? Reverse engineer it. Kind of the same thing Russell Brunson teaches, right? You got an awesome website, but I'm not going to get into all that. So let's get back before I get off of the topic. The mission is the submission, right? That's what we need. That's where we're going. So back to the topic of free is shit, right? Well, I piggybacked, but I brought tremendous value to him in exchange for that, because he didn't have to tell me what to do. He didn't tell me I have to break down deals and where's the money. I was like, I'm showing him, hey, look, there's money here, 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 here. Here's the prospectus, because that's what I put together for an investor. And basically it'd have all the information to say, if I were to do the deal, this is what I'd make. If you do the deal, this is what this is going to make. Oh, no, we got to get out of here. There's a fire. I got to go. Hold on 1 second. No, I'm just kidding. Let me call the fire department. Let me crank it up. Fire department, it's coming. I'm just kidding. All right, so Creative Real Estate Domination Live Meetup. Scan that QR code, but free as shit, but unless they bring tremendous value, and I did that. So, but not everybody has that opportunity. Not everybody's going to be as hungry as that. So we make it super easy. Plug in, see if we're a good fit. If we're a good fit, we rock and roll. There are hard costs. Take care of the hard costs. We move forward. Plug you in, done with you, done for you. Depending on what it is, you need a little coaching. Then hey, let us know. Maybe I don't need the whole enchilada. Maybe I need some tacos or something, right? I'm just kidding. All right, long day. I smell some food. I'm getting hungry. So check this out. Let's move to the mission is the submission. But there's marketing too. We put all this marketing together, rebrand it. Then we start rebranding it with your business, your LLC, your company, and that is the ultimate goal. But you got to have something like this. We're going to move some. I'm just going to share another couple of pieces of marketing for you. Sell your house fast. Americans helping Americans, right? That's our brand. We have a solution. We can help. Americans helping Americans. Boom. And whether it's a pre-foreclosure, a house that's in probate, a distress situation, a house that needs a lot of repairs. Maybe they don't want to use a real estate agent. Maybe they don't want to spend the money. Maybe, like I always say, maybe they've sold 4 or 5 houses in the last 50 years. I'll sell this son bitch myself. All right, that's cool. If you can, great. If they don't, they can't. Or maybe, like to always share with them, say, hey, go retire. Let us do all the work. We'll either buy it, sell it, fix it, flip it, or pass it on to a real estate agent or broker. Let them do that, right? Take the money and run. Our other one's got some business cards. We buy houses, which you've already seen here. With Americans helping Americans. So that marketing is either done when you're out door knocking. If you want to learn, I'll be honest with you. When I got started, I didn't want door knocking. I didn't want to make any cold calls. I want leads coming to me, and it's still the same quality over quantity. And then you start going, well, sheesh, man, they got all this technology and AI. We should be going with, quantity. We should be making tons of offers online. Sure, there's a recipe for all that stuff. This depends. When you're first getting started, you're not going to have a whole enchilada, right? You're not going to have a full McDonald's. You're not buying into McDonald's or even, say a real estate company or a firm, right? You're not buying everything like a franchise. You got to build it little by little and start putting stuff out there. Your acquisitions, your dispo, your lead coordinator, your secretary, whatever, marketing, social media, all that good stuff, right? Contracts, TCs, if you're going to build an apparatus like that. So when you do that, guess what happens? It costs money. There is no franchise like that. There are maybe two or three, right? I won't say what they are, but they're out there. I've known about them when I got started because that's how I thought, I was going to go. And then I found out how much they cost. And, then the owner passed away. And then, they stayed out of the East Coast and West Coast and just did all their stuff in the Midwest. And they came back after the crash. Now they're all over the place, right? In the East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, and all that good stuff, right? Along with some other brands, licensing brands, franchises, and things of that nature. I get it. It's cool. If it works for you, awesome, because you're getting everything there. But it's like anything else, right? It costs money. You got to pay the pony and the piper to get your franchise up. You got to pay for the building. You got to pay for the people. You got to pay for the staff. And you got to have money. You got to be an accredited investor or at least have the funds to make that happen. Most people don't, right? That's why they get into wholesaling. They watch the videos. And they watch TikTok and YouTube. And they're going, oh, man, I could do this. I could become a real estate mogul and I'll wholesale. I'll sell off these deals and I'll make all kinds of money. Yes and no, right? This depends on how hungry you are, how aggressive you are, and how focused and hyper-focused that you are, right? Because at the end of the day, they're not going to give you the whole puzzle. There's always going to be missing pieces to the puzzle. Marketing is one of them. And when I got started in the beginning and even now, right, I believe in let's try to make it as sexy as possible. Let's make it professional. Let's dress professional. Let's comb your hair, trim your beard, or whatever the hell it is. It's none of my business, but hey, I know if you're coming to buy my house or come and do business with me, I get it, right? A little bit of professionalism or not. Hey, there's, different things going on, right, in the last 4 years. But that's no longer, we're getting back to made in America, right? We're getting back to rock and rollness in America. We're getting back to the nuclear family. We're getting back to jobs back in the United States of America to dominate the fucking world. That's the way it is. That's the way it should have been, until they messed stuff up about 30 years ago. But I'm not going to get into that. You want to get into that? Go to Inform America. There's a Facebook group in there, Inform America. That's a selection process too. Go check it out. All right, check this out. Let's go here. Saving America and Americans in the USA. National, always private and secure for an instant offer or solution within 24 to 72 hours of submission, right? The mission is what? The submission. Go to instant offer -cash for an instant offer. I'm going to share that with you right now. Let me pull it up. See if I can change this for us. We're going to go right here. Pull that up right there. I'm going to share the lead gen form. See if it comes up. Is it coming up? No? Okay. Let's view this tab instead. There it is. No, it's not. Let me see. Maybe it's up here. Maybe it's right here. Oh, there it is. Cool. I found it. So let's navigating here a little bit. So let me go ahead and share this with you. I'm going to put my mug up here, and then I'm going to kind of explain what the heck is the mission. The mission is the submission. So after you get our surfing for deals, right, and you're out there hunking and chunking, finding some deals, spending a couple of bucks, or you're using the good old elbow grease, right, for free, copy, paste, boom, 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 and then watch sellers come into your email, text, and phone, and there's gonna be sellers that want and need to sell. Is there a difference? Yes. Want to sell, perfect for an agent or broker. I need to sell, that's what you're looking for. Wholesale, fix, flip, buy and hold, whatever it is. Because those are the ones where the more problems they have, the more money you're going to make, but you have to be able to do what? Solve their problems. So if you're a one-trick pony with wholesale, that's all you can offer. That's why a lot of people are getting into creative real estate investing. And there's peeps out there that have made it, hey, everybody wants to get into, sub 2 or seller finance. It's great. But I say do your homework. Cross the T's, dot the I's, right? Read between the lines, see the forest through the trees, get yourself set up. Look at how long it took me, 16 months to build out 2 systems and, 800 number and brand. I changed the brand once and then went to another brand and created another brand and then finally got my first deal and then kept moving forward, wholesaling and all that good stuff, and then eventually finding some properties to fix and flip and finding a mentor to help me. All right, so here we go. I'll put this back up so you can see this, and I'm going to share it with you, okay? So I'm going to click the tab. So the mission is the submission. So once you got your lead, and remember we had that example, if you watch this, like and share, appreciate it. Let's say there's a property in Moreno Valley, $500,000-$600,000 for the ARV after repair value, and then we're looking at repairs, right? Maybe it's a 1,800, 1,900 square foot house. So we're going, well, when you come aboard and you join us, we're going to share that with you, and there'll be cheat sheets. Maybe that'll be on another call, or you can always hashtag GetErickPaulLive, hashtag GetErickPaulLive. That'll take you some videos, Facebook, social media, YouTube, wherever they're at, and you'll be able to find something on that, okay? So let's get back to Moreno Valley. That's the subject property. Let's say we found that property. We're talking to seller. Maybe we found them on Craigslist. Maybe it's Facebook Marketplace. Maybe we found it on Zillow. Maybe it was a referral of some sort. It came down the wire. Maybe it was family or someone said, hey, there's this house. They want to sell it. Oh, it needs a lot of repairs, okay? So if it's 1,900 square foot, and let's just call it a cosmetic repair, right? Let's say the plumbing's okay, and all that other good stuff. But that's what this does here, right? So once we got the lead and we pop it into our computer and we start underwriting it, looking like, hey, okay, well, I got to give them a call. I'm going to talk with them, but let me see where the money's at. Do I want to work this deal in Moreno Valley? How much money's in it? What type of loans are in it? Now, I don't suggest you do that first. You can, but everybody's curious. And you can learn how to do it super quick. In the beginning, it may take you 20, 30, 40 minutes, maybe an hour. And you'll condense that into 3-4 minutes. Boom, you pull it up, look up the address. Okay, I like it. Boom, I like the area. Let me check out the demographics, location for the real estate. And I might take a look at, hey, what's on it? Is it free and clear? Is there a first? Is there a second? What's the note? What type of note? Is it conventional FHA? All that good stuff. Take a look at the value a little bit. Okay, yeah, they're in the $500,000-$600,000. Where do I need to be if I'm going to wholesale it? So let's go with exit strategy number 1, wholesale. So wholesale, we're going to go, 50, 60, 65 cents on the dollar would be awesome, right? If you can get 70 minus repairs, that's cool. Maybe 73, 75 if you can push it, right? If you got a good buyers list or you're good at disposition or dispo, right? Then you can go for that. Got to go any higher, then we still got to start getting creative and doing some subject to existing financing, some cash now, some cash later. Maybe it's an option of some sort. Maybe it's innovation. Who knows, right? But we're not going to get into that. Here is the mission. The mission is a submission. So when everybody comes aboard, this is actually a signature to you. As you can see for me, or maybe you can't see it, but it says, Eric, make me an offer. Come aboard, it's going to be Steve, make me an offer. Tina, make me an offer. Bruce Lee, make me an offer, whatever it is, right? Evel Knievel, the $6 million man, right? I'm dating myself here. So some of you youngsters might go, who the hell are you talking about? What the hell is he talking about? Maybe they're just regular names, right? But no, those are heroes back in the day when I was growing up. And look them up. They're pretty cool. But let's go with We Buy Houses, Ugly Ones Too, Cash Your Terms. Got to be a little bit of branding up there with Americans Helping Americans. We Buy Houses, Ugly Ones Too, Cash or Terms. And a lot of people don't understand what the hell terms is, or they get freaked out. So when we're negotiating a deal, we're not talking about subject to existing financing. We're not talking about seller financing, unless you want to scare off your clients, right? Because that just comes with the stigmata of like people and, agents and car salespeople, right? And that's changed. National Association of what is it? Whatever you want to call them, those things. National Association of Realtors. There you go. Whatever. It is what it is, right? I won't even get into all that because I'll get all fired up. Anyways, let's go with this. First name, last name, right? So here it is, 3 steps. I'm going to show you how this works in 3 steps. I'm going to give you the Reader's Digest version or the micro version. Eric, your AHA advisor within 24 to 72 hours. We are one, Americans Helping Americans. It's powered by AmpLive Media, National Real Solutions, Instant Offer. Okay, so when we go through this, as we can see, you're not going to go and ask them line by line. There is a dance to this, right? There is an art to it. There is what I like to call the AmpLive method. We do this in 3 steps. We're going to open up the call. We're going to do the introduction. We're going to gather information, and then we're going to start moving forward to get more information on the specs of the house and all that good stuff. And then we'll go lower and get into what's called the can't remember. Let me see. I call it the we start asking the magical questions or setting the stage. There we go. So we're setting the stage about right here. And this is when we start asking, we ask the 3 magical questions. Would you sell your house for what you owe on it? Yes, no, need more information. Would you be willing to receive any of your equity if applicable in the form of monthly payments? Yes, no, need more information. Would you be willing to sell your house by allowing us to take over your monthly payments? Yes, no, or information. I am going a little fast here, so I apologize for that. It's just I'm trying to squeeze a bunch of stuff into a small amount of time. And I know we're going longer. I was going too long, and I just want to try to make, even though these are going to be chopped up and they will be monetized into smaller videos and shorts, which can help you in pieces or into some training. But check this out. Here we go. So lead gen form, build out one of these, right? So we're getting the first name, last name, email, fax, telephone number. We're on the phone. Ring. Hey, how you doing? Can I speak with Tina? Tina Fey. Yeah, this is Tina. Hey, Tina, how you doing? This is Eric from AHA, Americans Helping Americans. Do you own a property at 123 any house, city, state, whatever, blah, blah, blah? Yeah, I sure do. What's this about? Well, I'm a local investor buying properties in the area. I want to talk to you about your property. Have you thought about selling your property or getting an offer on your property? Oh, no. Yeah, I don't want to list it. So, no, I'm not a real estate agent. I'm acting as a principal. I'm actually a local investor buying properties in the area, and I want to talk a little bit about your property. Have you thought about selling it? Have you thought about getting an offer? There's no obligation whatsoever. Then you get into it, right? So the whole goal is, one, if you're doing that, it's because the lead, and this is the thing, that's like a cold call. But when you get a lead from Surfing for Deals, and which I'm going to share with you, the lead is saying already, hey, yeah, I have a house for sale. We're approaching them. Very simple. Copy, text, email. Then you respond back and go, yeah, here's the address. Make me an offer. Or I want cash. Or what is terms? I don't know what that means. I don't want terms. Or it's an escrow. You want to be a backup, right? All that stuff is going to come down the wire when they respond back. Then there's another template. So you're going to have one template, and then we're going to give them a second template. And that second template is going to be like this, lead gen form. They can fill out in the comfort of their own home, right? 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. In the beginning, it's going to be you. Need you to get the submission, right? What is the mission? The submission. Because as you do this, you'll get better and better and better. It's psychologically going to help you with your sales 101, your psychology behind sales, the art of the deal, the AmpLive method. It's going to show you And it's going to help you with what? Getting your closing ratios better and better and better. If you don't want to do it, you want to try to pawn it off to someone else, or let someone else do it, they're better at that, then you're never going to be an expert in negotiations. You're never going to become an expert in sales. Now, once you learn sales, you can sell anything. You can make money anytime, right? It's just learning it properly and learning this. This is going to help you, right? And once you get good at it, and I recommend you should at least learn how to do this, and before you even try to get a VA or a virtual assistant, right? Because if you think the virtual assistant is going to be better than you just because they say this is what I've been doing for this many years and I'm super duper, or unless they've done something exactly like this, then you're going to shit cat a bunch of money. They're going to go through 5,000, 10,000 leads and dials and get no appointments. It's going to suck, right? And you go, oh, shit, that didn't work. No, it's not that it didn't work. You just didn't train them, because how are you going to know what to expect, right? And I hear it all the time. Well, they're a good company. They referred to me through this and that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. You still have to dial them in. It's like an employee. You have to dial in an employee based on what you want. Perception is reality. How do you want your business to be perceived when they make those phone calls? What are your policies and procedures? You need to have those, right? I started those when I got started, right? And I won't talk about that right now, but let's go down the wire here, right? So the first step is going to be getting all this information. They're going to tell you all this information. You're going to know what's going on. So you're going to have the address, and then you're going to start hitting them up. Hey, can you tell me a little bit about the property? Now, I'm not going to get into the whole spiel, but we're going to go through this real quick and talk about, hey, you want to know about the bedrooms, right? Because there's a lot of people that get this information, but they don't dig deep. We had a young lady do that with some other property, and she didn't ask enough questions, right? She didn't know anything about the roof, about the structure. Is there any foundation issues, right? How's the electrical? Well, I think it's fine. Okay, well, is it a panel, or do you got to screw in those damn freaking those what do you call those? Shit. Oh man, it's one of them days, right? Where you screw in the fucking, I can't remember what the fuck they're called. But there's ones where you got switches, and then you got those old ass ones. I know when I grew up, I'm dating myself again, right? You get this little what is it? Fuse. It's a fucking fuse. And you plug it in, you twist it in there. When the lights went on, you take it out because it blow out. Then you put another one in there. Then you need a panel. Even if it's updated a little bit, maybe you need to update it because they got window units. And you're going, well, shit, there's no heat. They're using not wall unit, even if it is a wall unit, it could be. But you're going to have to convert it all to put in central heat and air. Then you're going to need the right electrical panel, which means you got to rewire the whole freaking house. So that could turn into an air conditioning unit that you're going to need. Then you got to put in everything else. That could run, $7, $8, $10, $15,000 just to do that, right? So you just don't know. If you don't know, and then you're going to try to sell the deal. And then someone who's experienced going to ask those questions. You go, okay, well, it's a great deal. You can buy it for 20 grand. Yeah, maybe it's worth 100. But after you're done putting all that money into it, you got a retail property. Unless you're going to keep it forever, that's one thing. You're not going to be able to sell it and flip it, because you already got too much in it, right? So you got to ask those questions, and that's what we do. Our whole goal is to teach you how to get everything from birth until now. If you can break down those walls from the seller, about 97% will tell you everything from birth until now, because human beings are technically honest. 1 to 3% are going to lie to you, and I'll say it right here. They're going to lie to you. They're gonna deceive you. They're going to be unscrupulous. They're going to say, figure that shit out yourself. Get an inspection. They're not going to tell you about the leaks. They're not going to tell you about the foundation issues. They're not going to tell you about anything. They're going to be a client that's going to be, a pain in the butt, right? So you want to work with people that want to work with you. It's the golden rule, right? Treat others as you want to be treated. So we keep on rolling down here and getting more information, square footage, all that good stuff. Describe any unique features of the house. We keep rolling. Is the house listed with an agent, yes or no? What's your asking price? How'd you arrive at that number? Then we go back up here. And how'd you hear about us, right? Well, it's obviously, hey, I heard you responded back to us. Do you need to sell your house, yes or no? Do you sell your house fast, yes or no? If so, what's the situation? Why are you selling? When do you need to move? We need to know those things so we can prepare an offer for them and prepare some solutions for them. And then we keep on going down here and we go, okay, well, if we had the house appraised, what would the house be worth? We want to know that because it kind of tells us what's happening. Were they trying to do a refi? Did they do a refi? What are they looking at? What kind of appraisal came back? And then we hit them up about the lender. Hey, who do you owe on the first? Or what's owed on the first? And they're going to, what are you talking about? Now, 1 to 3% are going to be pain in the butts. The other 97% are going to tell you what you need to know because it's public information. And if it's not public information, we can get the information because we're professionals, right? And there's a way in the rebuttals in this where I'll show you how to do that. But not on this call or not in this meeting or training. Keep on going. Lie. What's the lender? Balance, payment, interest rate. Lender 2, same thing. Balance, payment, interest rate, taxes, insurance, private mortgage insurance. Now, you may or may not know what that is. I'm not going to get into that, but we like to ask anyways. If they got an FHA or VA, there's probably going to be private mortgage insurance, which can make the payment higher, and it may not be a cash flow property, but there's ways to go around this stuff for the creative stuff. Then we're going to hit them up. Payments behind. If so, what amount? Are there any liens or back taxes? Is the house attached to a bankruptcy? Super important, right? Can you still do a deal if it's in bankruptcy? Yeah, you just got to know how to maneuver. That's where we come in, because your first deal might be a wholesale deal, fix and flip, buy and hold. Could be a sub-2 seller finance. Doesn't matter. What you don't know is you don't know, but what you do when you're working with us, totally different, right? So it's a different type of process. Have you received a foreclosure notice? Has a foreclosure date been set? And then we set the stage, and we get ready to get some yeses and tie downs and psychological tie downs, and then we go ahead and hit them up, and we ask them the 3 magical questions. Any comments will go in here, and then we'll wrap it up on with our last question on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 meaning no hurry, 5 don't have much time, and 10 need to sell now. Where would you be at on the scale of 1 to 10? They can upload documents and pre-foreclosure stuff or anything they have. Mortgage statements can all come here, and then they will do a submission themselves. They can print it. You can print it, or you can, once you press submit, you'll get a copy, we'll get a copy, then we underwrite. We start underwriting to figure out where is the money at, right? But there is a dance to this. Then we close up the call and we let them know. I'm not going to get into how that works, but it's usually closing up the call, and we're going to find out what their best mode of operation is. What do they call that? Mode of operation. Yeah, that's mode of operation. They want to use email, text. And we also let them know, hey, in case you miss anything, is it okay if I call you back today and get in touch with you? You get another yes, and they say no problem, or going to say call me, text me, whatever it may be. We move this over here, and then we start wrapping up and closing up the call. Once we close up the call and get their email as well, because if you can get it, great. If not, it's too long, no problem. You shoot a text and we'll get it later. We'll let them know, hey, appreciate it. Do you have any questions? Of course, if you're not that experienced, that's why we like to do a lot of role play. Go into one of the groups, or there should be a link down below. Get into the group. There's the Art of the Deal group, and then we have a new one just for deals and things of that nature to share your deals. And we'll go through some live role play and things of that nature, right? Or when you come aboard, or if you do, whatever it may be is, or check out the training. But we have to do some of that, right? Because when you open it up, say, oh, you have any questions? They may have some questions for you that you may not be able to answer. Usually the best resolve is like, well, hey, okay, no problem. Let me find out. Let me see. I guarantee I can get you the answer, but let me go ahead and do my homework and let me do my due diligence, and I'm going to come back with you and get you that, and I'll answer your questions. Okay, no problem. So that kind of diffuses that. Once that's done, then we're going to go, hey, okay, great. I appreciate it. Thank you for your time. We're going to be back in touch with you within 24 to 72 hours with an offer or a solution. If for whatever reason it's just not a good fit, I'm going to probably text you or call you. I'll let you know that, and then point you in the right direction with some resources. Fair enough? Yeah, that's fair. Okay, cool. So then we move forward, right? Then once you get a copy, we get a copy. We start to underwrite it, look for the money, look for the deal. So now we're going from a lead to underwriting to an actual appointment, and that's the next call. So once we have this and it's filled out completely, and we got all the information, and we do a submission, right? They won't let you submit unless all these little red asterisks are taken care of. So you got to do some work, right? Then once that's done, then we call the client back for the second call, introduce me or someone on our staff. We're going to work together as experience, and we're going to go back and professionally have a professional meeting with them to say we got a few more questions to ask, and the goal is to get an appointment, right? So that's the next phase, to get an appointment. So the mission to the submission, or mission to the submission, is getting this information so we can underwrite. Once we underwrite, and Willie goes, hey, we got a deal here. Is it going to be a wholesale deal, a fix and flip, a sub-2 deal, an option? Is it going to be a listing? Who knows, right? You'll know once you get all the information and pull that data, and then if we move forward, we're going, boom, let's move forward, set the appointment. We get in to reiterate everything on this form, right? Get anything that you or someone else did not get. Ask some more questions, because you'll be surprised when you ask a lot of open-ended questions and more information will come out. They'll tell you you've already broke down that wall they'll tell you everything from birth until now, and you made a friend and befriended them. Now you're going to introduce them to your team so they know that you're not working out of your garage or, whatever it is somewhere, right? And know that you're working with a company or that you are part of the company and that it's just more than just you, which is a good thing. It makes them feel comfortable, right? Now, there are, I'll fully disclose this, there have been some calls where people go, oh, I'm not going to work with you for a big corporation. Like all those big, you know what I'm talking about, right? I probably don't have to share that with you, but you probably know. And they're like, no, I want to do that. I want to know who you are. I want to work with a small company, right? I don't want to work with a big, company that owns too much stuff, right? Because they know that they're like the enemy, kind of like the banks, right? So that's being done. But at the end of the day, our goal is to set that appointment. Once we set that appointment, then we're going to go to their property. If it's local, we're going to go. If it's something maybe you're in Florida, maybe you're in the Midwest, maybe you're in Montana, maybe you're in Ohio, maybe you're in Tennessee. Doesn't matter. You're going to set the appointment. You're going to go. And then we're going to be with you on the phone. This beautiful, lovely thing, right? To walk the house, negotiate. I'm going to show you how the art of walking the house, and we're going to move forward. But it all starts here. You get these. Get 20 submissions, 5 to 7 appointments. Out of the 5 to 7 appointments, you'll be able to write 3 to 4 offers, and I guarantee you'll get 1 to 2 deals out of it, right? You can do that every month. If you can do that every month, you'll be rocking and rolling. At least you'll have deals, right? You'll have your business will be moving forward in the right direction. You'll have deal flow. Then you got to bring in some tech to manage it, CRMs, text rings, voice messages, all that good stuff, right? So there is a method to the madness and a process, but it starts here. This is where you're going to make your money. So that's it with the mission to the submission. I got another one. What time is it? 7:17. Woo! All right. It's a long one. The next one I want to do is off-market versus on-market. What is the difference? Is there a difference? Sure is. I prefer off-market. What's being taught right now is on-market. There's a reason for that, and I'll tap into that a little bit and share that with you. And then we're going to have another one. Gatekeeper agents versus unicorn agents. Probably going, what the hell is a gatekeeper agent, right? I'm going to explain it to you. I'm going to share it with you. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Then you're probably thinking, well, what the hell is a unicorn agent? What is that? So I had that term, tossed around out there and had a couple people go, well, what the hell is a unicorn agent? What is that, right? Where do they come from? What's the purpose? Why are we calling them unicorn agents? There's a reason for it, and I'm going to share it with you. And it's good, the bad, the ugly on that too, right? So it just depends. And they both work, right? So they're going to go hand in hand with off-market, on-market, right? Gatekeeper agents, unicorn agents. How does that all work in today's market, right? Because that's what's being taught out there. And it's basically going to be your flavor. If you want to deal with on-market properties, go for it. There's a process to it. If you want to deal with on-market properties, there's a process to that. So, until it's not. Like anything else, everything comes in phases. Everything comes in cycles. Just like real estate, it's cyclical. So are the gurus that are out there and the real estate techniques and everything that comes and it goes and it comes and goes. That cycle, not everybody made it to this cycle. There are a few. In the next cycle, there's going to be a lot that are not going to make it. Only a few will make it to the next cycle, right? As far as their gurus and what's being taught and all that other good stuff, right? So I say let's rock and roll. Let's keep on rolling, right? It doesn't matter whether they make it or not. What matters is if we're here, you're here, and others are here to keep on rocking and rolling regardless of what the situation is or becomes, right? So let's look for those opportunities. Hopefully you got some value out of this. There's a lot that I dropped and probably a lot of information to process, but that's okay. I'm going to, wind this down with a couple of, call them maybe commercials, right? Here we go. I'm going to do surfing for deals. I'm going to grab this and put it into the chat, but also I'm going to share it with you on the screen here. It's called Surfing for Deals. Oh, let me close up that pop-up real quick. Boink. There we go. Learn the secret to effortlessly find, right? I didn't write that. 100 plus seller leads every single week. Maybe we got to change that, right? Well, get instant access to my free Surfing for Deals. That's what we call it. We coined it Surfing for Deals, okay? Training and discover my 1 hour per day lead gen strategy that brings in new sellers every single day. I guarantee it, 30-35% response rate. But you got to work them when they come in, and you got to understand how to dance around and turn those leads into actual appointments, okay? And they'll either will become want to sell or need to sell, which I explained to you, but I'm going to put this in here. This is absolutely free for right now until it's not. Go ahead and grab that. I put it in the chat. I believe there should be something coming up pretty soon if I change this to the Surfing for Deals QR code. That's one-on-one mentoring. That one, master that. There we go. That's the book a call. Lock in your one-on-one. Where's the surfing for deals? Is it way down here? Maybe it is. Let's see. Surfing for deals. No, there's a bunch of this stuff. Look at that. How juicy. That's everywhere. All right, there we go. So this is plain and simple. Right there. Scan that QR code right there. And that's free access to Surfing for Deals. What you'll get is a training video. Kind of got to get into it like I was kind of explaining, but more in depth on what you need to do, the mission to the submission, how to find the deals, how to copy and paste, how to get those leads. Can you imagine getting do 100 and get 35% response rate, right? You do that every week, 3 days, 4 days. For me, I probably would have did 5 days, right? I would have did 7 days. If you do 5 days, let's say 5 days, make it 5 days. So you make it 5 days times 4, you're going to have probably 100, 150, 200 leads, okay? That's a lot of leads to work. So you may have to scrap your spreadsheet or scrap your paper like I use, right? And because it's just going to be too hard to try to figure out and print out a bunch of shit. You're going to want to get a CRM, right? And I'll share the good and the bad and the ugly of that stuff. Once again, you go to hashtag GetErickPaulLive, hashtag GetErickPaulLive. I think there's hundreds of videos out there on all kinds of stuff. But for that, you want to find something in regards to how to work that, okay? The CRMs, there's good ones, bad ones. Even from last cycle to this cycle, they're a lot easier. Maybe they're better. They work better. You got your clunky ones. It's kind of like Android and Apple, right? You got your Apple sexy ones, but they're kind of a pain in the ass. And then lock up stuff. And then you got your Android ones that are kind of clunky and junky, but you can do a lot more stuff with it, right? So I'll share that with you. Scan that QR code right there. Get your Surfing for Deals. I'll also put it in the chat. I'm going to go back up here and share this with you because we're going to finish up here pretty soon with another, what do we got here? Here we go right there. I believe we did that. We do have an Amp Live survey. There is the page to just, hey, if you want to come aboard and work with us in some capacity, or you just, hey, I want to pick your brain. I got some questions. I'm thinking about foreclosures or probate. Thinking about doing wholesale. Maybe it's sub 2. I'm not quite sure. But I have some questions on a transaction, or maybe I have some questions on some type of, how do I get my business rolling right now? I'm not quite sure which way to go. Filled out that survey. It's the Amp Live survey to see if you qualify. It's very simple. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but it's very simple, right? You put in your information. Are you a newbie? You have some real estate training, seasoned real estate agent. Doesn't matter. Work with agents, brokers, all that good stuff. And if you are a brokerage or someone shares this with you, maybe you're an agent, you're going to go ask your broker, hey, can we get this guy to come in and train? Come into the office and maybe share this stuff, or maybe, is it okay? Maybe, ask permission, because sometimes you got to ask permission to your broker to say, can I do wholesale? Can I do real estate investing? And it just depends, right? I got some good and bad with all that as well, and what you probably can or cannot do. First and foremost, I'm not an attorney. I'm not a bookkeeper. Full disclaimer, right? I am not a financial analyst. I'm not any of that stuff. This is for entertainment purposes. Use it as you like or not, right? I'm not promising anything. I'm just saying what I've done and what I'm doing, what I'm sharing with you are from my own personal experiences. But if you are a broker and you're like, man, you got 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 agents, 50 agents, 100 agents, 200 agents, and you want our company, Amp Live Media, to come in and train your agents to become super agents, right? And to help dominate your area and kick some ass. Because, look, let's be honest. There's tons of wholesalers in this world right now. I don't care if they're making laws and they're trying to squeeze them out or call them dealers. It does not matter, right? Investors are not going away, period. Right? That's why we have attorneys. That's why we live in it's called a law country. Law. Everything's all about the attorneys and laws and things of that nature, right? Which means if there's a square box, there's always going to be a gray area, and that's what attorneys are for. And that's what investors will exploit. That's where they're going to go. They're not going to live in a damn box, right? They're going to figure out how to work these deals, whether it's a wholesale deal, whether it's a sub-2 deal, whether title companies want to do it or not. It doesn't freaking matter, right? There's always going to be a way to make something happen, okay? That's not going away, ever. So people can have the doom and gloom. Oh, we're going to have to get a license to become a wholesaler and have to do this and do that. So what? Adapt to whatever needs to happen and move forward and rock and roll. That's just the way of the world, right? So they're going to ask you some questions here. Very simple. What's your name? Where are you from? What do you want to do? What type of work are you currently doing? Do you have a budget or not? How long you've been in real estate, etc. Very simple, very easy. You can fill. Let me see if I go to here. There you go. You can check that out. Let me go back to the main page there. doink, right? So fill out the Amp Live survey if you want to chit chat and talk. I'm gonna bring this one up too. This is a webinar. It's a webinar. It's a Amp Live Creative Real Estate Investing Domination Masterclass. That's going to be April 17th, coming up this Thursday at 7 p.m. Definitely be there or be square. I'm going to get into creative real estate investing. Yes, I'm going to share a little bit about myself. Obviously, you can see me here. I look professional. But when I got started, I played rock and roll. Yes, I'm going to share pictures that probably, that's not my thing. But yeah, you know, my family, what we're about, the things we do, what I was like before and all that good stuff, sharing with you that, hey, anybody can aspire to be anything in this world if they want to be, right? And there's going to be ups and there's downs and all that good stuff. I'm going to share the good, bad, and ugly. I'm going to share what creative real estate is, right? Think of it as an umbrella and everything underneath that. So it's not trying to be the jack of all trades and master of none. No, it comes over time. You're going to start off as a bird dog. Then you're going to be a wholesaler. Then you're going to fix and flip. Then you're going to buy and hold. Then you're going to move to maybe, apartment buildings. After you're done with apartment buildings, maybe you'll move to, anchor properties like Starbucks and AutoZone. It depends on what your flavor is. Some people just stay in single family forever, right? Some people are going to move to storage. Some people are going to, I'm doing Airbnb until it's no longer Airbnb, until they get blown out and all, regulations come in. That's just the way it is. So you want to find something that's going to work for you. We'll share creative real estate investing methods with you, because it doesn't matter whether it's a 2-bedroom or $400,000 or $40 million property or multifamily, or it doesn't matter what it is. Creative real estate investing works for all of it, right? We're going to share all those things with you. We're going to share how to set up your systems and things of that nature. Then towards the end, that's right, we're going to have a proposal. There's no qualms, not hiding anything. That's my thing, is always full disclosure, and sometimes to a fault. But the bottom line is we're going to ask you to come aboard. If we're a good fit, let's have a chit chat. Let's talk. If you're looking for one-on-one mentoring, we're going to offer that to you. If you're looking for some coaching, I just need coaching for 6 months or 30 days just to do a deal. Maybe it's 90 days or whatever. We'll customize something for you based on where you're at in the industry. If you're an agent, broker, newbie, seasoned investor, doesn't matter, right? We'll work with you in some capacity if it's a good fit, okay? And we'll go from there. Very simple. So take the information, right? And it does take the right coach and mentor. I'm big on mentoring, but we are moving into the coaching space, probably going, what's the difference again? What's the difference between a coach and a mentor? Well, that segment's going to come up next week too, right? What is the difference between a coach and a mentor? Super important, right? And it does make all the difference. A little bit of information on myself, right? Yes, I'm Erick, manage, coach, mentor, speaker, creative real estate investor. It's what I do. It's what I love. Start your creative real estate journey today. You just click that little link right there and register. Easy peasy, right? So finish that up. Go right here. And we are going to be done with our 20-hour. Where'd it go? Is it right there? Live. All right, let me see what we got here. We got that right there. Let me check the chat here. Live opt-in. Okay, I'm going to close this. Let me pull this up here. Okay, good. All right, we'll go back here. I think we closed that. So once again, thank you to our sponsor, VIPExecs Realty and Lending, Step into Excellence, powered by Amp Live Media, and obviously it's a real estate brokerage, right? If you're looking to hang your license and you're looking for a home, you're rocking and rolling, you want to have the best of both worlds with being able to compete with the real estate investors and wholesalers and things of that nature out there, that's the place to be. It is a selection process as well. If you want more information, contact me, get with me, and I will plug you in, okay? So what else we got for our wrap? I believe I wanted to share this with you. Lock in your spot for one-on-one mentoring. There is the QR code right there. Got to take care of the hard costs. This is not, and I think it's the best. I don't even want to say the best deal in town. What it is based on taking care of the hard cost and us working with you exclusively, right? For the time that we spend for the next 6 months and partnering up and doing deals for the next 12 months, right? Super, super powerful. Scan that QR code. Let's chat. Let's talk. It is a selection process as well, and it won't cost you a dime. But hey, when you move forward and execute, this could be all the difference in your real estate investing career. Real estate domination limited time webinars coming up, but scan that QR code and we will chat. I do have something here, AHA, Americans.net. That is our brand. So if you got deals and I say send them down the wire, fix, flip, buy, and hold. There's going to be a link down below somewhere in this post, right? You can join our new Facebook group, right? It's all about deals, deals, deals. Post your deals, right? We're going to post deals in there. We're going to talk about deals. We're going to try to work deals. We're going to, if we can buy them from you or whatever it takes, right, to get them sold, but share them. And I want to say thank you for the people that have been posting in there. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for joining. We're going to keep on sharing it and put it and build that group up to the point where, look, we got deals in there. We're going to work deals, whether they're sub-2 deals, wholesale deals, fix and flip, burr. Every method that is creative will be there. Even if it's, I don't care. Put your property in there if it's a listing. So what? Maybe somebody might want it. Maybe somebody might want it for Airbnb and they're willing to pay retail. That happens too, right? It's a rental. Put it in there. Maybe it's a burr method. Maybe it's a lease option rent to own. It does not matter. So I do say thank you. I want to say thank you for the ones that have been posting in there. Definitely keep on doing that. We're going to post some more stuff too. We got tomorrow's Sunday, so the Sunday sermon, rants and raves. Most likely we'll be back with some topics and talking, because I'm probably finishing up the other topics that I just mentioned about. Mindset Money Monday, Tuesday out in the field. So I want to get some content for you guys out there to be able to see what type of deals are out here in crazy, beautiful Southern California. Wellness Wednesday, and then Thursday again out in the field and doing some sharing some properties and some fellow Americans that we'll be working with. And then back to Friday highlights with the Pulse of Real Estate and the Amplified Real Estate Show. And then back here again on Saturday for some Saturday training. Okay. So look forward to working with you. Appreciate it. I believe I do have this. This is pretty cool. And I'm going to say it, why most fail in real estate without mentorship. It just is what it is, right? Scan that QR code, see if we're a good fit, because it comes from experience, right? I probably would have spent maybe an extra 3 to 5 years of spinning my wheels and trying to figure it out, or I just would have kept doing the bird dog thing and getting ripped off until I became a wholesaler by accident, not knowing that, and selling off my contracts, building the A-list, and then selling my stuff, not doing the cattle call, because I freaking hate cattle calls, right? I didn't do the cattle call thing with investors, still don't, right? Call it the A-list. So whoever writes the damn check first, if you write a check within the first 24 to 72 hours, that is your deal. I don't care if somebody comes after that and you put in you say that I want that deal, and you put up the cash and we're good to go. Someone comes in and puts in more cash. Say, I'll pay more. Too bad. This is not a bidding thing. It's not the highest and best price. I think that's for me that's bullshit. It works for others, but at the end of the day, we want to be rock and roll with integrity and loyalty and communication. We're going to bring deals for you, or vice versa. You bring deals to me. I'd expect the same. I don't want to go to a cattle call. I don't want to wait in line to say, hey, and bid over and try to fight over a deal. The hell with that. We'll go find our own deals. And unless you're willing to work with us exclusively, hey, give us the first shot. Give us the first crack. That's the A-list. That's what we do with other investors. Give you the first crack. 24, 72 hours, you write a check, it's yours. If not, up to 3 deals. We'll send you 3 deals. After 3 deals and you don't buy anything that's in your buying criteria, you move to the B list, which is like the second page of Google. Nobody freaking goes there, right? There's crickets. Hello. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? That's what we do. That's what we'll share with you on how to do that when you're building your buyers list. But first, you got to get that bag of gold. You got to get some deals or get a deal, and then start pushing it out there in marketing, guerrilla marketing, and then start building your buyers list and vetting people, and then eventually get that $some sold, right? Unless you decide to fix and flip it with us and vice versa, or partner up. Those are all our opportunities, and you learn that stuff, right? You learn that stuff with a mentor. So with my mentor, like I said, I shaved off 3 to 5 years. Because if he wasn't there telling me, I was selling him my inventory. And if he didn't tell me, hey, when are you going to do a deal? When are you going to do a deal? You're ready. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, you're ready. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Okay. So finally you get frustrated. That's what happened to me. Got frustrated with the buyer. He kept nickel and diming me. So that's when policy nickel and dime came in, right? You nickel and dime me, I'm not going to do deals with you, right? I'm already making you a bunch of money. Here it is. And you nickel and dime me, then go somewhere else. I'm not going to sell you. I'm not going to give you my deals, vice versa. And that's what kind of was happening until I finally got frustrated with the buyer. And they're like, okay, I'll tell you what, rip the contract up, go back, negotiate it. But this time I am taking it down. And that's how it all started, right? So, wholesale here and there to make a friend. But 9 times out of 10, sub-2, take it down, fix, flip, buy, and hold. So that is the process, right? When you're ready, you're ready. I guarantee you're working with us. When you're ready, we're going to ask you ready? What do you want to do? Want to do a wholesale deal? Or you want to do this fix and flip? You got a couple of bucks in credit cards, just do a fix and flip. Oh, I've never done one. It's okay. We're going to work it with you. You want to fix and flip, buy, and hold. You want to wholesale this some buck, right? Maybe it's going to be a sub-2 deal. Whatever it may be, does not matter. We'll ask your permission, say, hey, what do you want to do? We'll go from there. One way or another, we're going to rock together, okay? But that's why it's so powerful to have a mentor in your corner to help you kick some ass, so you're not getting your ass beat in the ring. Now, the art of the deal, the Amp Live Strategy 2025. Once again, lock in that QR code. I'm going to wrap this up right now. This is a nice sunny one. Look at that. It's got the starburst and stuff, right? Amp Live presents the American Mentee program. Adjust, adapt, or perish. I say, let's rock. Scan the QR code. And I believe there's going to be different coaching and mentoring. I'm not going to talk about the coaching right now unless it's something you're looking for. That is a different type of jam, but either way, you're going to get the experience of doing deals. This is my favorite one. So I'm going to pull this up. No drama, just deals. Join Amp Live's 30-day real estate challenge. You can scan that QR code right up there. It says Join Sub2 Master. That is the group. You can get in there, chit-chat, rock, talk, negotiate. This right here is for spring, okay? So looking at that and going, oh, what is that, right? It's one time. That's a 30-day challenge, okay? And it's 50% off. Not something that, I was expecting to put out there, but since it's there, it's there. The Real Estate Investing Domination Meetup. Scan that QR code for Thursday. Now, we're going to start pushing those. If you're in here in Southern California and you want to meet, you want to do a meetup, have some coffee, you want to go door knock, you want to make some calls, you want to bring some inventory that you got to the table that you need help with, and you need some master experts, acquisition, sales peeps to lock that sumbug up, then give us a call. I'll be more than happy to work out something with you and work a deal with you, okay? Something we've never done before, but it is still. We got to see if we're a good fit, right? Make sure that we're going to be able to work together. We have the same alignment of some sort, and then go from there, okay? So scan that QR code for that Creative Real Estate Investing webinar. Introduce you to Miss Elizabeth, right? Step into Excellence, our sponsor, VIPExecs Realty and Lending. Step into Excellence. You're looking to list a property. Maybe you're a buyer, maybe you're an investor. Maybe you're looking for a loan, maybe a commercial loan, a traditional loan, FHA, VA, conventional juice, and the laws have changed a little bit. So it's super important to have people that understand and have been in the business for a while, right? Think of it that way, right? Like when I got my mentor, it was free as shit, and shit is free, but I brought stuff to the table and I got to absorb his 40 years of experience. Here's 20 plus years of experience right here. And then obviously you got us with Amp Live and the American Mentee program, best of both worlds. And we are looking for properties across the United States of America. You can scan that right there. That's for the 30-day challenge. This is kind of cool right here. I'm going to share this with you. I know I keep going, right? It's all a bunch of juicy stuff. Young man right here owned his first property before in his 30s. But you can scan that QR code right there once again and touch bases with us. I'm going to wrap it up with that thing. I'm one of my other one. Where's that one? This one right here. I love this one. All right. No cash, no credit. Learn creative real estate investing. That's what got me the bug. That's what, it's done everywhere, right? It's just more prevalent now because we got social media and we got platforms like this. Last cycle is top secret, right? Nobody really knew about it. Nobody was really doing it. And if they were, they're taking the deed and pissing people off and getting in trouble. We do things a little bit different, which I'll explain the process to you when we chit-chat or talk or not, or if you want to pick my brain in some capacity. But can it be done? Sure. Now, it's all semantics, right? We can say, hey, I will buy your house within 24, 72 hours. Or I'll give you a written guarantee within 24, 72 hours, right? It's true. You're not lying about marketing. You're not going to get in trouble with the FCC or any of that stuff like that, right? Because you're telling the truth. Being transparent about what you're promoting, all right? Because at the end of the day, can you get them an offer within 24 to 72 hours? Yes. Can you buy their property within 24 to 72 hours? Yes, but there's stipulations. Unless you're able to get title and you're in Texas, that's not going to happen because it takes like 7-8 days just to get title, and then you got to fix that shit, right? Same thing in the Midwest and other states. California, maybe the East Coast or whatever, they can get title within 24, 72 hours, comes back, looks clean. As long as you got the money and the contract and the agreements and you can close, get that double closing rocking and rolling, or maybe you're just going to buy it to sell it, fix and flip it. So that can happen, right? But sellers, you're disclosing that to the sellers, right? So I'm not going to get into that, but scan that QR code right there, Surfing for Deals. It's free. It's not going to cost you a dime. and you'll be able to watch the video. There'll be some cheat sheets. There'll be a PDF that you can copy and paste, and it'll help you blow up your email, text, and phone with leads that want and need to sell, sellers that need and want to sell. Beautiful, lovely thing. Reach out. We'll help you. Jump in that Facebook group as well and post those deals. Send them down the wire. We're looking for deals in Southern California right now. Texas Triangle, Missouri, Ohio. But right now, Southern California, hard and heavy, bringing it down the wire. Fix, flip, buy and hold, pre-foreclosures, NODs, NOTs, probates, whatever you got. As long as you just do your numbers and make sure there's some, there's some equity love in there. All right. So I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to pop this up back to the Saturday AMP Live training. Appreciate you watching. We'll be back next Saturday. I think the next one, maybe I'll do with the Sunday rants and raves, off market versus on market. There is a difference. You can make money in both. There's the good and bad in both some takes a little bit longer. Then we're going to get into for the on market properties. We're going to do another segment for the gatekeeper agents versus the unicorn agents, because you got to know the difference. You're going to have to vet them for the on-market type properties. Okay, we're going to show you how you can work with them without worrying about EMDs and proof of funds and all kinds of crybaby shit that happens, right? I get it. As long as you learn the art of the deal, the AMP Live method, and you'll be able to eliminate that stuff because they're going to see you as a valuable person that can help them and their client. They're going to see your brand. They're going to see how you do business, right? They're going to know that perception is reality at the end of the day. Now, if you come across unexperienced and, don't really not knowing what to do, then yeah, they're going to hit you with the EMD. They're going to hit you with, with the proof of funds. And then you're going to get something in escrow because you weren't transparent. And then you're going to lose your EMD, your owner's money deposit, right? Because they're not going to want to close with you. All right. They're going to say you locked up this property. Get out of here, right? We'll show you the difference between a gatekeeper and a unicorn agent and how to vet them, how to pick them, how to convert a gatekeeper agent to a unicorn agent so they're working with you the way they need to, right? That's a totally different jam. Then we're going to talk about we did the mission as a submission. We're talking about off-market and on-market properties and how the juicy gold buckets work, right? On-market, boom, is there money there? Yeah. But what are you looking for? What type of criteria and what needs to happen? Off-market properties, what do you need to do? Does it take longer? Do you have to find properties? You have to dig properties, and it costs a bunch of money to market, right? What's the difference? You got an agent over here, no agent. Agent, direct to seller. Agent, direct to seller. They both, hey, you can do them both. You're going to make money. And there's a process to it if you're an agent as well. Coming in as a principal and then moving into an agent, or as a principal and then moving it to maybe an agent if you need to. I'm going to share that flow with you. I'm going to share that on Sunday. With Sunday sermon, rants and raves, and maybe we'll rock the other one on Mindset Money Monday. Okay. So without further ado, I appreciate you. Like, love, and share. You can catch us on all the social media platforms. This is being streamed live, I believe, like on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. What else? We got LinkedIn, any of those platforms, the main ones, and then a little couple extra ones, I believe. We got Twitch and all that good stuff, right? I believe there are. But definitely like and love. Put my mug back up here so we can close this out eye to eye. Let's do our part, okay? Let's do our part for America. One American at a time, one property at a time, one family at a time, doing our part to get America back on track together with you and others across the United States of America. That's our cause and mission, my cause and mission, and hopefully it becomes your cause and mission. I believe in Made in America, and we're getting back to Made in America. Powered by AMP Live Media, a broadcasting, media, and marketing company that takes care of takes care of us and mentees across the United States of America. I want to say thank you to all past, present, and future mentees of America. Also, AMP Live, the American Mentee, the only program of its kind. We train and mentor you and others across the United States of America one-on-one. Nobody does what we do the way we do it. And VIPExecs, our sponsor. VIPExecs, step into excellence. VIPExecs Realty and Lending, step into excellence. Our resources will become your resources. If you need those resources, definitely reach out. And when you become a mentee and come aboard, all those resources that I mentioned before become your resources without having to pay for them like we have. So, can it be free? Sure it can. Let's rock and roll together. Have an awesome, awesome weekend. beautiful Saturday and Sunday with your family. Hope you're out there rocking and rolling. God bless you. In God we trust. And as I always say, rock